Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go. At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Line 54. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Motion. Block. Hey, exit.
Right there. 54. Right there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Check 43. Jim, 6'6".
And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to look deep for more. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Able to shake him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Bravo.
They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times, watch him make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Ready?
Now a play fake here on first down. Open man is Samuel, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
They're going to look to throw, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's Bissett. Flushed out right. And this is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But it's going to be second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32.
You get blocked, Lee. You get blocked.
On play action, Brissett going deep for Diggs. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Badgley on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
2nd and 3. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. 54. Here we go,
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And Diggs has it. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term, they just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Brissett hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Brissett. That'll be complete to Cook. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Brissett now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Brissett again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen to fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll throw again. Brissett. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Look at me. Zipper.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike's 50.
Shoot.
2nd and 14. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown, Carolina. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's able to find Diggs. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Brissett now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Mike, check. 59. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Again, it's Brissett. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Stephon Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And for the third time here in this half. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now on 2nd and 13. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
What we got?
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook. Cook for the 1st down and much more. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No picture. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They're going to try and throw. Rolling to his right. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Room to run again, and down to the 29-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Know your job. Tighten up.
They'll run on 1st down. Akers. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 16. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Panthers 6.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up. 23. Watch out.
On 1st down, Cook. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 9-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Badgley on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On second down, Smallwood. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
54, Mike, 54. Nice, sweetheart.
2nd and 5. He's going to let it go deep for the ends. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers gain a bit of respectability. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Hey, Echo. Let's go. Snap.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, but it'll be second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Gets it to Meredith, complete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Box drop.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Daniil Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Hey, 55.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Here we go. 10 logo. Smooth.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
I'm coming after you.
2nd and long. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry